Hello everyone, welcome to GB Bricks. In today's video I'm going to show you some of the sets that I picked up over the last couple of weeks, being the Insiders weekend at lego.com and the Black Friday sales also. I've got 4 big sets here to show you and a couple of smaller ones. Most of these, the big ones, were all from Lego in some way, shape or form, be that .com or actual in-store, and a couple were from Smith's Toys that were doing a deal as well. So which sets did I buy over the last few weeks? Well, let me show you. So the first set that I picked up then, one of the big ones, was Lego set 71814 Tournament Temple City. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. If not, I'll flash up some B-roll. Now this is one that I've wanted since it released earlier this year. And the reason that I picked it up is because at the minute there are a few free gifts and I thought it was a good time to grab it. I think they had double points on as well, so again it makes a big difference as to your mindset as to whether to pick these big sets up or not. This is one that I've had money set aside for a little while. I didn't do it on a whim. I knew I was going to buy it. It was just when was the best time to buy it in terms of the bits you get with it and getting the best deal for your money. And I felt, like as I said, that this was the best time to do that. Now, the free gifts that you got with it, which will be the same for a few of these sets. You got 40699, which is the retro record player, and I have one of these on my desk over there as it stands. I mean a real one, not a Lego one. I love these things. I love record players. I love LPs. So that's a nice little set. You got 40700, which is the small winter train or Christmas train, and yeah, it's a decent little set. That's not too bad. And the other free gift was this small craft set that you got. Through spending a certain amount. It was obviously a lower threshold than the other two, but you had to buy certain themes, one of which was Ninjago, hence the reason I was able to get it. Now I've mentioned that Ninjago is a theme that I've very much got into in the last few years, a few times on the channel, but this set in particular caught my eye because I've always had the idea of doing a Mortal Kombat themed model. Now initially my idea was to do like a small diorama of one of the fight scenes from the first game. So you got Shang Tsung sitting on his seat in the background, a couple of fighters, you know, Liu Kang, Scorpion, whoever, Johnny Cage, you know, fighting it out. But then I saw this set and I was like, what if you built a whole island, you know, like the island that the fighters go to in that first Mortal Kombat game? That would be something special. So I picked this up to build it, of course, and to display it as it is, but you know, I've got a few ideas knocking about in my head as to how I could modify it perhaps and turn it into something to do with Mortal Kombat, so we'll see how that goes. But it's a beautiful set. I do love these big Ninjago sets. I like Ninjago in general, but these big sets are they really are something special. This one is open backed as opposed to the others that are more city based and obviously are enclosed buildings, albeit quite high rise and small buildings. So again, that might be something I try to modify as well and have it closed up. But one way or the other, very happy to have that one in my collection. The next one I picked up was 71741. This is again Ninjago set. This is Ninjago City Gardens. Now I do own this set. This one I bought on the Insiders weekend. I think the one I showed you just now was just before that. It was more due to the fact that double points were on at the time. But this one I picked up and I took advantage of the Insiders deal, which saw this come down from £299.99 to £239.99. And again, you got the same free gifts that I mentioned a minute ago. Now, I don't buy to invest, but I do have one of these already, so I can see that obviously that contradicts what I'm saying. But my thinking here is that I really want the first 2 Lego Ninjago City sets, being City itself and City Docks. And they're so expensive now on the secondary market that I'm hoping that if I buy, you know, if I bought this one obviously, if I can just wait a couple of years and then sell this for a decent return, then perhaps I can use that to immediately then buy one of the 2 sets that I've missed out on. It might not work out that way, but that's the thinking behind it. Now this was available in Smith's Toys about 2 months ago now, maybe 3 months ago, for £170. I had one on the shelves in my local store for that price, and I passed on it. So now buying it for £230, £240, whatever it is, seems like a poor deal. But the way I thought about it is it's double points, so you're getting £24 back as cash back and the free gifts, which, judging by the amount they're currently going for on places like eBay, you could get about £50 odd for the pair. So if you factor in £50 off, say, brings it down to £190, another £24 in points, that brings it to just under £170, albeit not 100% in cash. So it seems about an equal deal in my mind. So yeah, that was the reasoning behind picking this one up. It is a lovely set, and if you don't own it and you are interested, it does retire at the end of this year. It was one of my sets to look out for in my 10 sets to grab before they retire. I'll put a card to that video in the top right hand corner. Moving away from Lego for the minute in terms of the shop and on to somewhere else, as I mentioned, Smith's Toys had a deal on recently where if you spent £50 you got £5 off, if you spent £100 you got £10 off, and they had a couple of sets in there that I was looking to pick up for a while but only at the right price, and these 2 sets I grabbed, which came to just over £50, and hence I got the £5 off. So you got 77051, which is one of the newer Animal Crossing sets. This is Fly with Dodo Airlines. I don't buy small sets as much anymore because space is becoming an issue, and I don't want to buy sets that I can't really display or have no real intention of displaying. I don't see the point anymore. Something I would have done as a younger man, but you learn, you live and learn. But the reason I picked this up is because I would love to one day create an Animal Crossing island or display. So I picked it up for now with that in mind, and if it never happens, then I'll move it on. But a nice little set. And the other one I picked up as part of that deal was 76924. This is one of the Speed Champions sets. This is the Mercedes AMG G63 and the Mercedes AMG SL63. I don't, as I said, buy sets unless I kind of know that I'm going to be able to put them somewhere, or know that later on I have a bigger plan for them. And I do display my Speed Champions sets here, as I'm sure you can just about see, and I'm starting to have to be quite selective in which ones of these I pick up, and this was one that I really did like the look of when it released back in, when was this one now? Was this earlier this year? I can't quite remember. I think it was this year. I'm relatively sure it was this year, but it was £45 RRP. I'm not paying £45 for it, I'm sorry, but it was £32.99 in Smith's. This one, the Animal Crossing one, was £19.99. So the two together then came to £52.98. Got £5 off that, so let's call it £3 off this set, let's call it £2 off the other. I'd say I bought this then for £29.99 and the other one for £17.99. So yeah, that's better for me, and I do love the Speed Champions builds. The sets themselves, once they're built, look great, but the builds themselves are really so intricate and interesting to put together. So many different techniques that they use. The only downside, I'm sure many people have said this, is the sheer number of stickers involved can get a bit monotonous at times, which is a shame because you have this really interesting build and then this quite boring, for want of a better word, process of putting the stickers on, and it just balances out the experience a little bit more than I would like. But I am looking forward to building this, and they will be on here at some point in the future. So back to Black Friday itself, and my wife and I and our kids, we went to the Lego shop that day, and I had a set in mind, and my wife and I both wanted this set, another one that we'd put money aside for, knowing it was releasing on that day, and that's set 10335. This is the Endurance ship. Now, I have followed this story of the Endurance for a number of years. It's a fascinating story of kind of perseverance of humankind, and when faced with adversity, in the way that this ship, sunk and got stuck in the ice for so long, and ultimately no one perished as a result of it, and everyone survived. And when I heard they were creating the ship in Lego, I was very intrigued and wanted to pick it up. When it was first revealed, there was a slight moment when I was disappointed it wasn't minifigure scale, and then immediately thought to myself, no, this is the right call. This wouldn't be as good a set, and minifigure scale wouldn't do it justice. It had to be micro scale. So I'm very happy with that decision. It could have had one minifigure, having the Captain Shackleton himself as a minifigure to stand on the display stand on the plaque or next to the plaque would have been nice. And I'm not one of these people that says that for everything. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it should have more minifigures, or every set should have. I don't feel that way. There are sets that it's just not warranted or appropriate or necessary. I think here, just as a celebration of the fact that everyone survived, it would have been nice. In a set like the Titanic, for example, absolutely appropriate not to have a minifigure because it was a tragedy. And yeah, so I can see their reasoning there. Here, it would have been nice, but it's not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. It's a beautiful looking set. I can't wait to build this one. And it came with an exclusive free gift, aside from the ones you would have got for spending X amount of money anyway. And that free gift was the James Caird lifeboat which again played an integral part in this fascinating story of making sure that everybody survived, and the lengths that people went to after the event to go back and help people that were stranded. So this is a lovely little free gift, and was very happy to pick this up. And it's times like this when I'm happy to buy something on day one, because I think this is just a great little companion piece and would sit nicely on a shelf next to the main build. Obviously in terms of scale they're not going to match up, but again it doesn't really matter. It's more just about the complete package that it kind of emits once you've got them both together. So that was a nice little gift to get. And on top of that there were the record player and the train again, plus one more that was a free gift in store only on Black Friday, I believe. A small little poly bag, which is Santa's sleigh. So that's another little gift that came with it. So 4 free gifts, not a bad return for picking that one up on day one. And the final one that I picked up then, now I've mentioned double points and things like that through this video in terms of my reasoning for getting certain sets at certain times. Now that really does pay off when you're able to get a set such as this, which is the Legend of Zelda Deku Tree 77092, by exchanging your insider points and getting it for next to nothing. I actually paid £2.99 for this once I'd traded in all of those points. Now this was a set I wanted as soon as it released. I did a video a while back on the channel where I was in Leicester Square, the Lego store in Leicester Square, and I showed this in one of the glass cabinets, and I kind of gave my impressions of it there, where I said it was a lovely build. I would love to have it. I just think it's horrendously overpriced. I don't like the 2-in-1 nature of it. I don't think that's a good idea. Personally, I would have preferred them to make 2 separate models, being the Ocarina of Time tree and the Breath of the Wild tree. Sell them for, I don't know, 160, 170 each, but you could buy both and display both at the same time. This 2-in-1 model for me, at prices of this magnitude, I think is a bad call, because you've got so many extra pieces sitting in a box, and you've got a build that doesn't feel worth the money on the shelf because of it. When it's a smaller Creator 3-in-1 set, it's a bit different, but I don't think that was the right choice, and because of that, I was never going to pay full price for this set. I would have rather missed out on it, and I would have felt no regrets, because I don't think it's worth the money, and I don't agree with that business practice. Don't want to get preachy, that's just me, but getting it for my insider points, I'll take it all day long. So yeah, I had about £245 worth of insider points. This was £260 in England, and on Black Friday, one of the promotions that Lego had on their website was you could trade 200 insider points. Now 800 is £5 worth, so 200 insider points to get yourself £5 worth of discount. So you're basically getting a $5's worth of discount for 25% of the usual points price. So the limit on that was 3, so I did 3 lots of that to get myself £15 worth of points for what equated to about £3.50 of the points I already had. So £245 worth became £242, but then went up to £257, and this was £260 minus a penny. So I paid £2.99 for this, as I said, and I got the same free gifts again, being the record player, the train, and another one of those little poly bags. So yeah, I just thought it was a cracking time to get it. I'll be honest, I was going to wait until I had exactly the right amount, so I could say I didn't pay a penny's worth of cash for it, but to get the free gifts, yeah, no, I'm not going to be that stubborn. So I paid £2.99. Onto the set itself, I do think it's lovely. I love the colours. I love the design of the Deku Tree. I'm going to build the Ocarina of Time one myself, because that's the game I grew up with. I like Breath of the Wild, but I do like the classic Zelda games more. Big Nintendo fan. My other channel, if you're not aware, is a channel called Switch Up, which is a Nintendo Switch related channel. So yeah, obviously anything Nintendo and Lego combined is a big win as far as I'm concerned. And I just hope that any future sets, Zelda sets, just consider their pricing a bit more sensibly, or their build practice, so that they're a bit more accessible. But yeah, able to get this for for free. I gave my points up, but you know what I mean. Happy to do that. Happy to have this set. Yeah, really delighted with that as well. So there you have it. That's my Insiders weekend and Black Friday pickups. Yeah, like I said, some of them, like the Tournament Temple, it wasn't about Black Friday. It wasn't that the deal was anything to do with Black Friday. It was the fact that I had the money aside for it. I knew I was going to get it at some point, and it was double points and a decent amount of free gifts, and it felt the right time. And another one was obviously an accumulation of those points, ultimately leading to being able to pick up a set. So it looks a lot more grand than it otherwise would have been, with some massive sets there. But yeah, very happy to have these in the collection. Hoping to do reviews of a couple of these soon as well. If you're not an Insiders member and you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, it's nothing special. You don't have to be anything to do with Lego to have it. You basically go onto their website and sign up for it. It's free to sign up for. You'll get your card, and you can even have it as an app on your phone these days. And every time you buy something, you basically get 5% worth of points cash back, and that accumulates over time. But when they do double points, of course, it becomes 10%, and it's a bit more enticing. So yeah, it's worth checking out if you do buy a decent amount of Lego. And yeah, it costs you nothing, and you could end up getting something pretty good out of it. Do let me know of anything you picked up over the last couple of weeks, and any sales that you found, and any good deals that you managed to get. Stick it all in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy building.